Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morgan and bid you all welcome back to The Witcher. A bit of a delay getting back into this. I think it's a couple weeks since the last one I uploaded, and I gotta turn down my microphone a bit. Bear with me. It's getting a bit loud. Audio was clipping a bit, I could tell. But, yeah, I had a busy couple weeks, so I apologize that videos kind of stopped for a little while, but we're back. And we're going to press forward. I had played well ahead. I probably got like the next 2 videos or so planned, which isn't that difficult. There aren't a whole lot of side quests in this chapter. But there are some pretty substantial ones that we're going to get to. First thing, though, that we got to do is we got to see this cutscene that crashed the game last time. So we're going to step on over here and let that happen.
You killed my beloved Elena!
I didn't mean to!
Lawyer, you were jealous of her! Die, murderer!
Ah!
Once again, just some Oscar-worthy performances. Well, boy, you fucked up.
Witcher, can you hear me? You who are neither man nor ghost, mortal whom death follows.
Who are you?
A soul damned to wander the world forever.
Who cursed you?
I myself did, in killing my sister Elena, out of jealousy.
Selena?
Love denied. The sun denied. It burns! At night I sing my plaintive song.
Okay. So now we have 2 wraiths. She was a bit friendlier than Elena was, but unfortunately she's a bit... she's kind of more... She's a lot more self-aware, in fact, than Elena is. She understands that she's dead, and she understands why she's dead, why she's a ghost. The weird thing about this is, so, Adam killed her before our eyes, and I don't think there's any denying that, because we saw the bit where Geralt was, like, walking away, and he turned to see that. So that's not like it was a sort of flashback scene, and it's a little bizarre to me that Geralt didn't understand who Selena was when she floated before his eyes. But yeah, so it's also weird that she kind of acts like she's been here a while in that dialogue, but yeah, that all just happened before our eyes. So now she is a night wraith, and that means she's going to float around at night. Meanwhile, Elena is a noon wraith and will only show up during, like, the midday. So, yeah, that's, not the greatest turn of events. I guess there won't be a lot of happy news when we cancel his wedding. Where is it? What's the name of the quest? Heat of the Day or something? There it is. Alright, so for some reason nothing updated there, but yeah. Matters just got complicated. I guess we've got some witchering work to do here. Alright, so one of the things that we're going to do here, we actually have 2 things to do in this crypt here. One of the unlisted trophy hunts is a special ghoul down here. And we also... You know what? I actually should rest. Because I don't have any potion... Oh my goodness. I don't have any potions right now. And our toxicity is pretty... Or I don't have any potions in effect, but our toxicity is quite high. Let me get rid of that jerk. So let's go find... There's a campfire over here, so we're gonna rest there. We're gonna go down. We gotta kill the ghoul. And then we also have to look for the cat harness stolen by the Griggs. Apparently I got talents. Let's take a look at those. So I think our next level up we will start getting gold talents. I forget what level we are now. Level 28. No, it's level 30 we start getting gold talents. Consumption of a mutagen. Resistance to blinding we need, because there's going to be some bad shit happening in an upcoming quest. I actually, when I was doing a practice run, I had a lot of trouble with some of the shit that's going on up ahead. So unfortunately, we keep getting bronze talents that just are not helping us too much here. It's actually funny. So we have this bit. Oh, I didn't want that actually. I wish I could take that back. So we have this ability. Damage plus 25, dodge minus 50, parry minus 50. That's not what I want either. What's the one I want? There's some talent that lets you, like, avoid pain or something. Oh, I should have gone for that. Because pain is going to be a problem, but there's some ability that lets you avoid, like, pain and bleeding and stuff when you're intoxicated. So I remember specifically, like, using it. Unless we already have it. Oh, immunity to pain. So that actually might help us later. Now, I did a lot of, like, stuff off-screen preparing for this, but I think I accidentally saved over shit I didn't mean to save over, so unfortunately I had to reload an earlier save, like right before we met the gambling ghost. And so I lost a lot of that progress. Because the only other saves I had were, like, the next earliest save I had was the one right before I left this cave. So we would have missed that cutscene, the dialogue with Selena and all that kind of crap. Which I did not want to do. We're gonna need a cat down here. And I figure a Savalo should help as well. So one thing that's very helpful, if you're gonna make potions, try to have like a standard potion with an albedo dominance, and then take something with another dominance afterwards, because you get reduced toxicity if you first consume a Negrito dominant potion. So that's very helpful. Or an albedo. Alright, so we got Alps. Shit, I fucked it up. Blaster. Man, they just don't stop. Yeah, take that. Oh, big boy. I heard another big boy. And another big boy. It's not who I meant to go after, but fine. Oh, I already killed the whatever that was. Yeah, take that. Ooh. Do I need those for anything? I think I might. So we got way too many drowner brains. We're gonna get rid of those. Ah, I don't need vinegar. Excuse me. Is there any loot in here? Nah. So here is the fool we need. First we're gonna kill some fleeters. Apparently I'm gonna hit this guy instead. Alright, be gone with you. Oh my goodness. Chopper. Alright, big boy. It's actually funny, even though this guy is like a unique and really tough, ghoulish thing, you can still stun him and get the insta-kill. So, if you're having trouble with this guy, that might be a valid way to go. So now we got the trophy, and as you might recall, we can only carry one trophy at a time, which is pretty irritating. I'm gonna eat the fish. You can only carry one trophy at a time, which is irritating because the other trophy hunt is in the fields. So, it would be convenient to do them both at once. I mean, we can still kill the guy, but we gotta come out for the trophy again afterwards, so I don't see much point. Now, the next thing we're looking for is the Griggs. It's not the stance I meant to be using. Yeah, kick him in the nuts. I heard some giggling over here. And we found some Griggs. And, Garkian. This was the first one of these we've met. And he tried to take flight. Yeah, these are Griggs. And if you notice, they look like little gnomes. Little gnomes stay in their homes. Yeah, they're non-hostile, so there's no threat with them. We can go ahead and take this cat harness, which is a quest item, so it doesn't take up space in our inventory, thankfully. I don't care about any of that crap. We've got more than enough ingredients to cover everything we need. And I guess for the hell of it, we can try and finish. I hate when it says knocked down, they don't actually get knocked down. No, nothing else really here. That's all we needed, so we gotta take this cat harness back to the Griggs who live by the bridge. Oops, I'm going the wrong ways. But before we do that, there's a character out in the field somewhere that I want to speak with. He's got a quest for us. Oh my goodness. Alright, when it says knockdown, can you actually get knocked down, please? I dislike it when the UI lies to me. Alright. We are out of here. Let us head in a general this way direction. So it's interesting. I never really put much thought into it, but the way the medallion actually, like, has dynamic shadows and, like, lighting going on, I guess it does... Maybe it does correspond with, like, natural light, but there isn't really much of a light source here. I don't know. I guess it does. But it's funny, because when the, we can, like, the camera can be facing the same direction, but when that, like, cone of vision on the little mini-map goes haywire, it actually does mess with the shadows on the medallion as well. Which, I don't know, it amuses me. So this is a hermit's place. And the hermit has a lot of fucking dialogue. So this might take up a good chunk of the of the video. But whatever, let's wake the man and speak with him. So maybe we want, oh, there he is.
How can I help?
Speak to me.
Anything a witcher can do for you?
I do have a problem.
How can I help?
There's a druid's ring nearby with an ancient statue of the goddess. The place is saturated with the power and attracts dangerous entities.
Not surprising.
The Wild Hunt began haunting the ring recently. Its king hopes to lure the souls of the warriors laid in the kurgans by my hut.
I have dealt with the hunt. What would you like me to do?
Kill 9 phantoms, a hallowed number of the druids. Perhaps the appearance of a witcher will drive off the king of the hunt. As your reward, you may have a book on vampires, ownership of a hut, or a wreath of immortals.
Interesting options.
I can do that.
Remember this. The king of the hunt is a powerful opponent, and no mortal, not even you, can hope to defeat him.
So how do I fight him?
Find mandrake root by the kurgans near my hut. The magic herb will keep the king of the hunt at bay. Merely light the candle that stands within the ring and sprinkle mandrake upon the flame.
Yeah, that sounds helpful.
Alright, so I'm cutting in here with a bit of post-commentary because when I was editing this, I realized something that I kind of missed while I was discussing the Wild Hunt in the lore of these games, which basically I said that this was the first time we heard of the Wild Hunt, and that's because I kind of forgot about the side quest in the first chapter of the game where we actually encounter the Wild Hunt in like a cellar where he summons the ghost of Leo to fight us, and that kind of plays into what I was saying, but I still felt like I had to issue this correction to it, which is basically that the Wild Hunt prior to this prior to like the second game really, never really becomes a huge figure, and it's kind of weird they became so important, or the king of the Wild Hunt. I keep making that mistake, referring to the king as the Wild Hunt, but basically he never really becomes a huge figure until suddenly, like, he shows up at some critical moments, and then Geralt starts having the flashbacks in the second game. So, and because his first appearance, actually his first appearance was technically in the prologue, during the dream sequence where Geralt's running through the forest, and then he wakes up and he's on the back of the cart being taken care of Morin. But then he shows up and actually has dialogue in the Dead Hand of the Past side quest, where you're supposed to bury Declan Nuvlarden's friend or something, and since that was a side quest, it's easy to miss that. So when the Wild Hunt starts to become like an important player in the story later on, it's actually it was kind of a shock for me because the first time I played this game, I had actually not even encountered him in the first chapter. So I obviously did this quest in my first playthrough where we have to fight him, but since he has no dialogue in this quest, when he suddenly shows up later on and becomes a big deal, it took me by surprise because I didn't understand, like, why is this suddenly important? Like, this guy was so random before, he didn't seem meaningful, but now suddenly he's a big deal. So his introduction in this game, in my opinion, is not very, not handled with a whole lot of impact, because again, he just kind of shows up and we're like, whoa, hold on, this guy's suddenly like important. So I don't know, I think they could have done a better job, and I kind of wonder why, as far as I know, even the King of the Wild Hunt isn't that big of a deal in the books, because the books don't take place during this, and you know, the whole Wild Hunt thing becomes a big deal in the third game, which there is no novelization of that story. So I don't know, it's all kind of strange, but I've always kind of had gripes that are hard to explain about the storytelling in the Witcher games because of the fact that so many things are so obtuse, so many things are so obscure, and suddenly, like, big things happen that kind of come out of nowhere and nobody really explains it. And the Wild Hunt is kind of one of those same things. So, it always... I had a lot of trouble following the flashbacks in the second game about the Wild Hunt and about other parts of Geralt's past, because even the flashbacks, the way they handle those, they usually just come out of nowhere. Or like the monologue, like slideshows that we see in certain scenes, they just come out of nowhere and have like almost nothing to do with the dialogue that was happening when they triggered. So it's always kind of a shock. Like I remember in the ending of The Witcher 2, Geralt's talking to Letho, and he has like a flashback about Yennefer and the Wild Hunt, and all of a sudden, like, he comes back, and Letho's just like, Letho's kind of like, you're alright, I feel like I lost you there, and Geralt was just like, it's nothing. And again, it's just funny the way the story is told, with such critical things, that, you have to look so deep and read so much just to follow them. And it makes me question how it's going to turn out in The Witcher 3, because I've heard people say mixed things about the story, and whether or not they thought the Wild Hunt was like a good antagonist. And I don't know, that's something that's going to remain to be seen until I actually get around to doing The Witcher 3. So, I guess that's enough of this awkward segue. We'll get back into the live action that you were... how do they say it on TV? Your previously, or your... whatever. We'll get back to the previously scheduled programming right now. I'm gonna play some poker with him. So we do need to get to professional or sharper level in order to play Dandelion, which apparently we're not at yet. Ooh, he's got ebony dice. Okay, well, he's already doing better than me. This is such bullshit! I hate this fucking game.
How can I help?
Thank you.
Just for the record, there's no professional way to play a fucking game like this. This isn't real poker, and it's not real fucking dice. It's a bullshit version of both that just has, like, no skill to it whatsoever. I'm so... And the ironic thing is they actually made this fucking game worse in The Witcher 2. Because they, like, broke it and never fixed it. I can't remember what the problem was, but I think, like, there's something stupid, like the game wouldn't actually let you re-roll dice when it was supposed to. So, like, only your first dice roll actually did anything. And it's just such a terrible game. I understand why people like Gwent so much, because this is such a garbage fucking game. And the fact that it's just an algorithm that constantly favors your opponent, like the higher rank you get. It's so dumb. I hate this game so fucking much. I don't know why I keep doing it. I want to... Because it's a walkthrough, as I keep calling it. I want to show, like, this is bullshit. I want to show what happens, like, when you finally beat, like, the ultimate player, the champion. I don't even think I have the fucking patience for that anymore. Because then I have to beat Dandelion, and I'm already fucking losing. This game sucks. I hate it so much. Oh, and he gets to roll off the fucking board. See, all I'm getting are 2 pairs. He never fails to get better than that. And it especially sucks because he's the dealer, which means a tie always goes to him. So best I can get is like 2 pairs. Once in a fucking blue moon, I get a full house. I can never turn it into a 3 of a kind anywhere. But he always manages to get... Now, how the hell did I win that one? it is always given a tie in favor of the dealer. The only thing I can assume is that they actually do take the, face values of the dice into account when they add up the points for that. But it never seemed like they did that before, because ties always went to the dealer. This is garbage. This is a garbage game. This is a garbage game. Eat shit. You shit.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Who lies beneath the kurgans I saw before your hermitage?
Knights who died serving the lady over the ages. Gavanda defended her honor against the Black Skull Knight. Elavera perished at the foot of her altar, fighting a water beast. Boar's tomb is symbolic, for the knight was lost on a holy mission. The last is for Renard, an ordinary innkeeper, who stopped customers from pissing in the lake.
Ha!
Who lies beneath the fifth mound?
The last stands empty, awaiting a new champion.
Who might that be? Seems weird that you're only expecting one more, but... well, at least you're already prepared for him to die.
Who is the Lady of the Lake?
We already met her.
I know her to be a goddess. At times I see her dressed in white, traversing the fields through morning fog.
I've never seen her dressed in anything. Huh.
Over the dewy grass.
Do you like her?
I love her. I believe the lady is not of this world. Mysteriously, she affects the entire area, safeguarding its people and granting them abundance. Yet her influence is subtle, and she never imposes her power.
Intriguing.
How can I help?
Can I ask you something?
What is?
I heard you're an expert on the legend of the Holy Grail.
You seek the Holy Grail?
I might. Let's talk first.
Know that the legend of the Holy Grail has been studied for centuries. It's been interpreted in myriad ways.
You must know an abridged version. Say, 3 theories?
There are hundreds. But all right, 3. The classic theory, of which I myself am a proponent. The conspiracy theory. And finally, one of the most mysterious. The philosophical or mystical. Which one first?
Tell me the classic theory.
Good choice. The Grail is a cup, a powerful magical object, whose meaning cannot be fathomed by even the most powerful sorcerers. This chalice possesses the power to heal all diseases, poisonings, and wounds, and pain will turn into power. One theory also states that in the hands of a rightful ruler, it can heal entire lands and protect their inhabitants from danger, creatures of the dark, natural disasters, and so forth.
Sounds like Dandelion's ballads, only without a love story.
All who drink from this miraculous cup are healed, fortified, and enlightened to understand the truth.
Yeah, sounds a bit too mystical for me.
Let's move on to the conspiracy theory. That one sounds interesting.
This was popularized by Bronze Dan and begins with a convoluted theory about the derivation of the word Grail. A few tortuous pages in, we learn the Holy Grail is actually Sangreal, which in the Elder tongue denotes royal hallowed blood. Bronze Dan concludes that the Grail is actually the descendants of the prophet Lebioda.
Go on.
These descendants, talented in the ways of magic, were protected by a secret organization before they ultimately mixed their own blood with that of En Seid, the knowledgeable one. The theory goes on to present the tempestuous and twisted fate of Sangreal, but the author gets lost in his arguments, often contradicts himself. Generally, it turns into an unholy mess.
Enough genealogy and genetics. I sense that's a false trail.
Which theory should I present next?
So the hilarious thing is that that's a not very subtle dig at the author Dan Brown, who wrote the Da Vinci Code, and just a major dig at his whole storytelling and contrived interpretations of, like, biblical history and that sort of thing. I don't really care about the rest of these, to be honest. Like I said, he's got a lot of dialogue. I don't think any of it really means that much. And we could spend all fucking day just sitting here talking about folklore and all that kind of stuff. But let's just do the important stuff.
Many fine knights set out seeking the Grail, abandoning their roles as guardians of peace and justice under the guidance of the Fisher King and the Lady of the Lake. Now the Fisher King is mute, and the knight's gone. I think the lady must be very lonely.
But she's a goddess.
You know not how lonely a goddess. Do you think goddesses cannot be lonely? The gods ultimately created us in their own image.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
What do you know about the Wild Hunt?
'Tis a group of crazed spectres who traverse the heavens searching for souls like themselves. They are susceptible to magic, especially of the ritual kind.
So that's a very straightforward answer about that.
Thank you.
I'll get the last dialogue when we come back to him. So, like I said, the Wild Hunt doesn't turn out to really be all that much until later on. But it's interesting because, like most things in The Witcher, like folklore, it's not just inspired by traditional folklore, but almost like ripped off entirely from it. And I won't say ripped off, but just like taken wholesale and just sort of reinterpreted in the setting. So, in classical, like, Scandinavian folklore, the Wild Hunt was a sort of procession of spirits and specters who would roll over the land in sort of like a chaotic, like, war band of sorts. And I don't know where the name Wild Hunt really came from, but it was supposed to be like an omen of sorts. Like, if you witnessed a Wild Hunt, it was probably an omen of your own death, and if, like, the Wild Hunt was seen near a village, it would imply, like, a really lousy harvest that year, drought, famine, that sort of thing. Depending on the regions where the stories were told, the king of the Wild Hunt, per se, could be anyone from Odin, the chief god in the Norse mythology sort of pantheon, and even got into more biblical kind of interpretations where the leader of the Wild Hunt procession was the Archangel Gabriel himself. So there's a lot of, like, varied interpretations to it. Obviously, The Witcher has its own, which basically interprets... I don't think they elaborate it too much in this game, but basically the Wild Hunt are a procession of elven spirits who are of, like, another plane of existence. And there's a somewhat famous painting done by... Jesus Christ, I cannot remember the artist's name. Well, I'm gonna show it on screen here. And I believe this was interpreted... from his point of view, this is more the, like, Norse... like, Nordic myth Wild Hunt, because it seems like Odin might be leading the procession there, kind of smack in the middle. Although, there's some guy wielding a hammer who also kind of looks like Thor, but I don't know. Really, the main reason I wanted to show this picture is because I wanted to ask my friend Blake Proctor if he knows where else this painting made a semi-famous appearance. But, right now, we have to worry about fighting the Wild Hunt's specters, and that is a pain in the ass. As you will soon see, this is a very tough fight. And before we begin, what I want to do... need some white gulls, just for the sake of high quality high quality potions. So what we need... I made a list of the best potions for this, which include... we probably... Do we have any white Raffords already? We don't. Make one of those. I'm not too fussed about the... Make 2 of those. We're probably going to need them. Immunity to stun and knockdown effects. That might help. We'll make that the albedo dominant. Wolverine increases efficiency and damage. Make this Negrito dominant, I guess. So what we need are some ethers. We need some Queberth. We need a Hydragenum. Oh no. Won't have any with Negrito, so we're gonna have to do Rubido, I guess. If I have any, yes I do. And last but not least, Vermilion. Alright. Bam. Hang on, that didn't sound right. Fuck, I fucked it up. What did I mess up? 2 ethers. These are ethers, right? No, it's vitriol, god damn it. Alright, so that was a bust. Oh no, I couldn't do Negrito. Damn it. Shit, I'm out of shit. Was that everything I needed? I don't have any, like, Spectre oils or anything, which would be really helpful here. Alright, we're gonna have to hope for the best. I also don't have any more alcohol, because I fucked up that potion. That would have helped, because the problem with the Spectres is they have stun effects, and I think their #1 stun effect is blinding. Don't think I have anything that assists with blinding. I don't think Spectres are vulnerable to poison. Don't know if this would help. So I think the best thing we can do really is just sharpen our weapon. And head on. So, alright, might as well do this. Gives us some potency to our stuff. So, we've already got 3 Spectres over there, you can see that. This wyvern's gonna piss me off. Might as well kill it now. And since the Ard really isn't gonna help here, we're gonna stick with that, which is gonna help because we got these nice effects here. So our Igni is basically 250% more, yeah, 250% its normal power. Albedo is just dominant, so we're gonna take that first. That will help us resist the toxicity of the rest of them. This is junk, because I fucked that up. Oh, I hate this fight so much. Take that. That's already a lot of toxicity. We're gonna keep white Raffords there. And that'll be our Negrito edition. Alright. We're gonna go for it. Oh no, we can't go for it. I forgot something. We need the Mandrake. So, the point of the Mandrake is you have to use it to banish the King of the Wild Hunt when he shows up. So, we need to have it handy. Might as well take all 5. I think we only need it a handful of times, because we need to kill 9 specters, and they spawn 3 at a time. So we only need to use 3 pieces of Mandrake root. But in case you mess it up, you want some backups. Because if you use it at the wrong time, I think you still lose it. But you don't... It doesn't banish the king, so... The problem is, since we have to fight 3 races at a time, and they have constant bombardment of, like, status ailments, like blinding and that kind of shit. Not to mention the fact that they just pummel you and Geralt keeps, like, flinching. Really makes it hard to do anything. So we're gonna give it a shot. They also are stupidly good at dodging. That's already 1 down. So it's not bad so far. You see, the king is right there. And now we're getting stuck. Where's the Mandrake? Oh, it's down here. So, yeah, as you can see, we are hit by something, and now they're just wailing on us. And they're dodging everything. I have no idea why they get so much... You know, it's because they blinded me. And now they did it again. So I'm gonna fall back a bit. This is irritating. So for some reason I can't use signs. Okay, that's him down. I'm gonna fool around with this guy for a bit. Just have him keep chasing me till I get some hit points back. And of course Alvin just has to be an obnoxious piece of shit the whole time. So one of the things that makes this irritating is it's very much like the golem fight in the 2nd chapter. It just gets really irritating because when you try to interact with items, Geralt half the time puts his sword away for it. So trying to use the Druid Lantern here gets really irritating because he'll put the sword away. So not only do you have to sometimes wait for the animation to finish before you'll use it, you also have to draw the sword again just to keep fighting. So it really pisses me off.
Help me! Help! I don't want to.
Alright, as long as we're quick about it. Do that, run.
Help me!
Try to keep the... Oh my god, why'd you have to dodge like that? Now I'm gonna get blinded again. So that's all we need. I guess we actually only need 2 mandrakes. But yeah, always take it all. I mean, why not? It's free shit. So that's that. Now that worked out better than it had for me in the past, but still really annoying. Because if you don't nail those combos, or for whatever reason it glitches out and Geralt just stops attacking, as he has a tendency to do, or like that one moment where for some reason you decide to backstep instead of continuing the combo. It gets just absolutely infuriating, because as soon as they start landing hits on you, you get stun locked. As soon as they blind you, you have... Not only does Geralt just stand there rubbing his eyes for like 10 seconds, but your accuracy is like cut in half. So they dodge everything. But it is what it is. Alright, now very important. Pay attention if you are using this as a walkthrough. I don't know why you would be, but if you are using this as a walkthrough, pay attention to the reward I choose, because there's this. He gives a specific item that you cannot get in any other way. So, don't take the stupid book.
How can I help?
Don't take the stupid hut.
I finished the job. The wild hunt is gone.
Splendid. I'm grateful. Which reward do you want?
The Wreath of Immortelles.
Handle it carefully and use it when the moment is right.
Thank you.
Please, also take this sack of holy salt. Carry it on you to fend off phantoms. It might prove useful.
Also prove useful at the dinner table. So he gave us a sack of salt, which is a talisman that we keep there. We also still have the Drowner Repelling Amulet, which doesn't seem to work anymore, so we're just going to sell that. So he gave us the Wreath of Immortelles, and this is the only way to get it. He will not give it to you under any other circumstances. And the book, I believe, is a book we already read, so it didn't matter, the book on vampires. And the hut is one of the huts outside of his own hut here, which turns out to be useless because there's like nothing in it, and I don't even think you can meditate in there. So it's stupid as hell. Don't need it.
How?
Can I ask,
What is?
what can the Wreath of Immortelles do?
You might find it useful.
That's not a helpful answer. Treatise on Elemental Genies. We haven't read that before. Great Book of Minerals. So I'm not too concerned about minerals because, again, we have like every ingredient covered. The only thing we don't seem to have is what was it? A Hadraginum and Negrito pairing, but whatever. So for some reason he's got all these Witcher things. Now, we will need this later, so we might as well buy it now so I don't have to come back here. Dragon's Dream. So I don't know, for some reason I don't have the ability to make bombs, and I forget where you get that ability. I apologize if the mic's picking up these sirens. I usually tune them out. Wow, wow, wow. Ifrit. Okay, so now we finally, like, we understand Ifrit, and can get something from him. I don't think he's gonna buy these books back. No, he doesn't. Fortunately, the blacksmith does for some reason. But whatever. It's time to get out of here. Wasted enough time. Now we're at 52 minutes on this recording, but I know I'm cutting out like all the dice poker shit and some other crap. So, I think we have enough time, at least to make it back and tell Julian what horrible things have happened. Now, one thing I will say before we proceed, there's only one village around here. It seems strange how many corpses we find, and nobody is ever like, oh, my husband's missing, or my son is missing, or Harold, the town drunk, has not come home for a while. Like, all these bodies out here, nobody seems to be missing anybody. Makes me wonder if travelers seem to meet a terrible fate out here somehow at the hands of the villagers. I might as well look at... Okay, I still don't have any gold talents, but we need... What do we need? What was it I wanted? Endurance regen, sounds good. Pain resist is gonna be, like, mandatory. You!
Yes?
Sheathe your dagger.
She killed my Elena! I'll never see her again!
Selena.
Oh, you'll see her. She's still out there.
She confessed! They argued, and Selena pushed Elena. My beloved hit her head on a stone. It's too terrible.
An accident.
Selena told me, and I couldn't control myself. Selena envied Elena. was jealous of Julian and his wealth. She must be punished.
You already
Alina is
killed
not
her.
Dead. She turned into a noon wraith.
Oh, terrible! I must help her.
Try not to do anything stupid.
Yeah, please. Alright, well... let's head this way. We got the cat harness too, so we might as well stop in and speak with Abigail. Confirm what we need to do with that silly thing. It's a shame we never actually get to see the Griggs ride the cats. That'd be kind of adorable.
Oh, ouch.
Alright, I think, Julian is gonna be inside. There you are. Alright, sit down, have a drink, I have bad news.
I was supposed to find Alina.
Have you?
Yes.
That's wonderful. Is she all right?
Sit down and have a drink. Alina is dead. She has turned into a noon wraith, a demon.
Dead?
I know it's hard, but we can't leave this as it is. People will start dying in the fields if I don't do anything about this.
I see. Do what you can. I'll pay you.
It'll be more than a silver penny.
Do what needs to be done, Witcher. And if you can, make it quick and painless.
I'll try.
You know, I believe in reason, not in gods. Yet I prayed to Melitele that Alina and I would meet again. I had a bad feeling. I repulsed it. I think I need time to accept the thought that my Alina is dead. Geralt, how did it happen?
Selena killed her, probably by accident. She's dead too.
How?
How did Selena die? I'm not sure. She also turned into a demon.
By all the gods. So much suffering. What did they do to deserve this fate? Geralt, please help them. Do everything that is in your powers.
I don't have an answer to that question, but I'll do what I can to help the sister souls depart in peace.
Yeah, I guess that's the least we can do. Someone who has knowledge of curses, well... I know someone who might be able to help. Somebody who's helped us deal with a phantasm or two in the past. Alright, Abby.
What do you want?
I need your help on a matter of a spiritual nature.
You can trust me.
I don't know how to send Alina's spirit into the beyond.
That conceited wench? She came to possess a rare and powerful Nehelenia's mirror, which once served oracles and prophets. Alina consulted her mirror quite frequently.
With the question, who's the fairest of them all? I know Nehelenia's mirrors come in two varieties, polite and broken.
Alina's mirror was clearly broken. If you reassemble it and show Alina, the curse may be lifted.
Thanks, Abigail.
Alright, well, another, seek and collect kind of quest.
What do you...
Is not what I'm excited for.
I have the Griggs treasure.
Now take the harness to the chapel of our Griggs. It stands just by the bridge, a small red santon. Return the following day to see if the Griggs accepted the gift.
How will I know they did?
In its place, they will leave you a gift of value, symbolizing friendship or joy. If Harn keeps this gift with him, the Griggs won't trouble him.
Take care.
Alright, ain't that pleasant. So I guess we'll drop that off before all is said and done. You know what's funny about all this? Alina is, and Selena for that matter, are the daughters of Tobias Hoffman, the village chief. I'm pretty sure if we go talk to him now, we don't even have the option to tell him what happened. But it's kind of hilarious, and he still talks to us, so he's like, oh, beastie beta? And he's all just kind of normal. But his daughters are both dead and ghosts.
Yeah?
I have stuff to selleth you. Take that book. And this scroll. Yeah, that too. We don't need the wyvern meat. We actually need wyvern eggs, which we can only get from the royal wyverns on the island. Now, I don't have anything to make a rune sword. I'm pretty sure I've tried actually making a new sword using runes, but it never gets better. It's not like later chapters result in better swords, as far as I can tell. So, we really... Actually, that's the other thing. I did want... I have, like, no money. I want the steel sword that I think he sells.
A customer.
Yeah, that's a very good sword, but it's gonna be a while before we can get that. I'm probably gonna have to play some poker or something just to be able to afford that. Or actually, I think all the quests that we do in this chapter pay out like 800 gold, so that's gonna be helpful too. But we need to stop in with the chief and hand him this head anyway.
Beastie Beta?
Gah.
I'm here about the notice.
What do you have for me?
5 Alp teeth, as stated.
How vile! Here's the gold I promised.
Well, you wanted it, you jerk. Yeah, how much money do we get? Oh, only 250. I think
Beastie Beta.
these these non-entry contracts pay out better.
Any work for a witcher?
A creature looking like they say.
Any root?
Bring proof.
The scimitar from the crypt.
I've seen enough proof. You're 800 orens.
Yeah, so that's what pays 800. Regular contracts only pay the usual 250. That's a decent payout. When we kill the Vodyanoi, that should give us enough. We just sell this steel sword and we can get that better one. Alright, well, last order of business today, we're gonna turn in this cat harness to the the shrine for the other Griggs. So let's zip on over there. And here's other Griggs.
A small chapel to some divinity who worships here.
I wonder, could it be these small figures prancing about? So, even though she said come tomorrow to collect the counter offering, we actually already have it. It just immediately deposits to our inventory. This is similar to, like making peace with the Vodyanoi in the second chapter, I think, in the... Or was it the third chapter? I don't remember. In the swamp outside Vizima.
Sir,
I made a deal with the Griggs.
I'm impressed.
They won't bother you while you wear this 4-leaf clover.
Perhaps I can finish the bridge before the first snowfall. Your reward.
I prefer gold.
400 orens, as promised.
Thank you.
Alright, that's nice. Book on Spectres, I'm pretty sure we've already read that. So, who needs it? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do us for tonight. Kind of a long one, all things considered. I thought we'd get a bit further today than we did, but no matter. Next episode, we got a lot of running around to do. A lot of people to talk to. Some pieces of a mirror to find, and, yeah, a lot of fun to be had. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful... boy, I'm skipping things. It's been too long. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my stream archive channel, links in the description below if you are interested. Otherwise, have yourselves a wonderful night, and we will see you next time.